Welcome, everyone, to this live stream. I will be your host for tonight, Southern Belle 74, giving you the latest in celebrity and entertainment news. We're going to take a quick diversion from my normal celebrity news, and we're going to dig into something that I call When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong. I have two different cases tonight, two totally different situations. I'm going to give commentary, we'll watch a little news clip, and then we'll talk about it. All right, let's get into the first story. It comes out of Los Angeles, California, through news associate KABC TV. A local family is experiencing a mix of grief and anger after their daughter was killed in a crash with a Lamborghini driver who was a teenager. On February the 17th of this year, 32-year-old Monique Munoz was driving home from work on Olympic Boulevard in West Los Angeles when her Lexus sedan was struck by a black Lamborghini SUV at the Overland Avenue intersection. Paramedics were responding, and police said that Munoz died on the scene. The horrific accident left behind both cars mangled and a family grieving for the loss of their daughter. Police say that the Lamborghini driver was a 17-year-old and he smashed into her car at a high speed. After the crash, he was brought to a local hospital for medical attention. On February the 23rd, the team was booked for vehicular manslaughter. The LAPD has not said exactly how fast the vehicle was going, but the Lamborghini SUV has a powerful, quick engine. Car and Driver says that the vehicle produces 641 horsepower. And it can accelerate from 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds with a top speed of 190 miles per hour. The father of the slain daughter asked, who gives their kid a Lamborghini as a gift? I don't care how much money you have. You don't give a kid a sports car, especially a kid that doesn't even know how to drive right. The family is angry that 3 weeks have passed and the 17-year-old has yet to be charged. There have been calls for justice on the street where it happened. And the family has also been posting on social media with the hashtag Justice for Monique Munoz. Let's get into this news clip.
A family's grief mixed with anger. Their daughter was killed when her car was hit by a Lamborghini driven by a teenager. Now they want to know, why hasn't that driver been charged? Eyewitness News reporter Carlos Granda has the story.
The horrific accident left both cars mangled and a family grieving for the loss of their daughter.
She was smart. She was beautiful. And she had a heart of gold.
The victim was 32-year-old Monique Munoz, who was driving home from work. It happened near the intersection of Olympic and Overland in West Los Angeles. Police say the other driver was 17 years old in a Lamborghini, and he smashed into her car at high speed.
Who gives a kid a Lamborghini? I don't care how much money you have. You don't give a kid a sports car, especially a kid that doesn't even know how to drive right.
This happened about 3 weeks ago, and the family is upset that so far the 17-year-old hasn't been charged. There have been calls for justice on the street where this happened. The family says so far they haven't heard anything from the DA's office.
I contacted them one time, and after that, they told me they mentioned that the case was still pending. It had not even reached their desk yet. And this has been over a week already, and I have not heard from anybody.
The LAPD says the driver was booked for vehicular manslaughter and the case sent to the DA's office. Officials there say the case is being reviewed. DA George Gascon has generated controversy trying to change the way defendants are charged, and the family is worried it could affect this case.
I mean, he's really lenient on certain crimes and certain criminals, especially juveniles. And I'm like, you act like an adult, you get treated like one.
And the family now plans to have another protest this weekend. They want to send a message to the DA's office that they will fight for justice for their daughter.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe button for our YouTube channel. And download the ABC7 Los Angeles streaming app on Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and Roku to watch on your TV.
So guys, what are your thoughts? My first thought was the same as the parents. A child so young, and I don't know if you guys realize, but in my research, I found that male teen drivers are more likely to have accidents and wrecks versus a female teenage driver. That's why insurance rates are so higher for males. Because I used to try to figure that out when I got my very first vehicle in high school, and I went to get my car insured. And my brother went to get his insured. His insurance was way higher than mine, and I never understood that. And now I do, because I don't know, when it comes to the male and the female dynamic, I guess it just takes the guys a little bit longer. So let's move on to this next clip, okay, guys?
Tonight, the family of a woman killed in a crash in West LA is calling for the teen driver of the other car to be arrested. They say the 17-year-old was speeding in a Lamborghini when he plowed into her. Tonight, the woman's relatives gathered for an emotional vigil in her honor. KCAL 9's Candace Crone has more tonight from West LA.
Child had a heart of gold, never hurt anybody. Did everything right.
With heavy hearts, loved ones gathered and lit candles representing the shining light 32-year-old Monique Munoz brought to their lives. It was tragically dimmed when she was hit and killed by another driver. Relatives say was speeding as she drove home from work last night.
Kids racing down the street in a Lamborghini, 17-year-old in a Lamborghini doing 120 miles an hour. Hits and kills her, senseless.
Police were called to Olympic and Overland just after 5 p.m. yesterday when a male in a Lamborghini collided with Munoz, who was driving a silver Lexus. She died from her injuries. The other driver was taken to the hospital with head injuries. Relatives say the young woman worked as a receptionist and was aspiring to go to law school. They've set up this GoFundMe to help with the expenses of her untimely death. Her stepfather says the family won't stop speaking out until the driver responsible is held accountable.
I want him prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Authorities say the driver responsible has not yet been arrested. Reporting in West LA, Candace Crone, KCAL 9 News.
Okay, guys, so this happened like 3 weeks ago, but I'm going to drop this next news clip, and there's been an update.
A 17-year-old is under arrest after his Lamborghini plowed into another car, killing the driver.
Now, the family of the woman killed fears that they will not get justice. The crash occurred 3 weeks ago on Olympic Boulevard in West LA.
Teenager's father says he suffered brain damage in the crash. KCAL 9's Candace Crone has more.
I felt really disrespected. I felt like my daughter was disrespected.
Carol Cardona is furious. She learned from the media that the 17-year-old driver accused of hitting and killing her daughter was arrested weeks ago. 32-year-old Monique Munoz was driving home from work last month when a teenager driving a Lamborghini SUV slammed into her in West LA. Witnesses say the young driver was speeding. He was taken to the hospital. Sadly, Munoz was pronounced dead on the scene.
It hurts me so much, her not being here, because she was not only my daughter, she was my best friend. You know, she was tiny but mighty.
LAPD now confirms the young man was booked for vehicular manslaughter from his hospital bed 6 days after the deadly crash, saying the delay was due to his injuries. The DA has not yet filed charges but said the case is under review. Police aren't naming the driver because he's a minor, but his father is millionaire James Curie. When asked about the incident outside his Beverly Hills home today, he said he's sorry.
I am very, very sorry. And no words can say how sorry I am, because those are just words. But that's the only question I'm going to answer.
He also said his son has brain damage and can barely walk. LAPD says since charges haven't been filed, they can't hold the teen in a jail cell. Cardova is worried they won't get the justice they deserve.
He committed an adult crime, and I believe he should be charged as an adult.
Funeral services for Munoz will be held tomorrow. The family is also planning to hold a rally at the crash site on Saturday to demand justice. I'm Candace Crone, KCAL 9 News.
Wow. I really would love to hear what you guys think about this case. So please leave your thoughts below in the comment section. I do agree, Ms. Paulette. It is awful. I just hope that the fact that the father's a millionaire is not going to get them out of it. He's still, that young teenage son of his needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And I hope that takes place. All right, let's move on to our next story. This one was very, very telling. This story goes to show you that everything is not always as it seems. A woman believed to be drunk and passed out at the wheel on Interstate 805 early Friday morning in California would not wake up. When Officer Sergio Flores with the California Highway Patrol arrived and tried to get her attention, she was alert and oblivious to what was going on. Let's watch this clip and then you decide.
Hey! Wake up! I tried knocking, she's totally passed out, her doors are locked on the driver's side.
Stop your car. You're in the crash. Stop the car. Stop. Come on out. Come on the car.
Fire's got the right lane blocked.
Come on. Walk over here.
Talking about some medical information. Can you stop?
Okay, guys, now after watching that clip, the average person would have said, oh man, she must have been intoxicated, under the influence. But the video says everything is not what it seems. This was really happened to this young lady. She was released after they found out she was not intoxicated, but is a diabetic. She didn't take her insulin and she went into a diabetic shock. Funny how things aren't always what they appear to be. See? That young lady could have died in that car. And I just thank God that they didn't run up on her and get to shooting. You know, they arrested her. I thank God they just arrested her, but she did get medical attention and she was actually in a diabetic shock. Isn't that something? When keeping it real goes wrong. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Miss Paulette, Laurie, thank you guys. Y'all so supportive. I appreciate it. Catch me tomorrow night. I'll be doing another live around 1-ish. All right, take care and be blessed.